What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
AFC South Fan. AFC South Fan. Are you ready for the fight? Nighty night, lights out, no Tyson. About to be the clash of the Titans. Strike like a lightning bolt. You feel the ground pounding, that might be the coast. Quick like a joke, like to hit when provoked. Don't you doubt that. That's a Jaguar to a house cat. That's an outcast to a whole squadron. If you talking Houston, then we've got a problem. You'll probably get the horns if you mess with the cattle. Sit back in your saddle and get ready for the fan battle.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. I just want to start off by saying that football is stupid. I hate it. It's a dumb sport, and it makes me sad. So joining me today, I'll just get to our panelists first, and we'll just hit the ground running here. Representing the Texans, as always, we have A1 Day One Texans, Matt Briggs. Representing the hapless Jaguars, we have Cody Blankenship, Cody Cold Gaming. Representing the winning despite their best efforts Colts, we have Chris Jackson, and our Mayo Brigade representative today is the one and only John Ha. So, fellas, there's some football this weekend. Anybody watch a little football?
I mean, it was.
I saw two football games, but I don't know about the other two.
I saw 3 football games and then one bludgeoning of hapless nitwits here on a grass field in Jacksonville. You know, so woo, buddy. We'll just get right into it. Victory Monday. Yeah, for some folks, not for the Jaguars. Let's start with a little bit of NFL news. Let's start with some terrible news. Former NFL cornerback DJ Hayden dead at the age of 35 in a car accident. Some wackadoo. He was at a stoplight, just plowed through. He's just going through an intersection. Somebody runs right through a red light, plows into his car, and 6 people end up dead. Him, and there was another former University of Houston player.
Three former University.
Yeah. Oh, 3. Okay, I did not see that. But
Zach McMillan was one of them.
Yeah, how terrible! Just awful news.
Only 2 of them made it to the league, but yeah, three total of University of Houston. I mean, if nobody remembers DJ Hayden, he almost didn't make his career because he had heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he came back, so he was already a heartwarming story. And then people being idiots, man, don't know how to drive, especially in the city of Houston. They definitely don't know how to drive, so it's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did he play for the Jags?
Yeah, he played for the Jags 2 or 3 years, I think. I don't know how long. He had 1 year where he actually played pretty well. Obviously didn't play for very long, but it's just regardless of whether he was any good in the field, it's still terrible story, terrible news. 35, you never expect, you just don't expect something like that. Just goes to show you life is short. Hug your family, live your life, right? Because any moment could be snatched away from you. Speaking of other terrible news, Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Zay Jones arrested today by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office on charges of domestic battery. So, if 3 of the 4 wheels on the Jaguar mobile fell off on Sunday, it appears the other one is starting to wobble and fall off. Obviously, nobody knows what happened for sure. Innocent until proven guilty. But if he did what he's accused of, and there's been no real details that I've seen other than domestic battery is what he's been charged with. Obviously inexcusable, unacceptable. We'll see what happens, right? I can't imagine if he is convicted or found guilty that he doesn't miss some time via suspension, right? I think the league has sort of set a precedent now that they will not tolerate that sort of thing. But it's as a Jaguars fan, very frustrating. Like, there's enough to deal with after Sunday's debacle. And he's been out for a while with a knee injury. We're hopeful. Jags fans are hopeful he was going to come back on Sunday. He did not.
Doesn't look like he's going to come back now.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Obviously, there'll be a process involved, right? Like,
it all depends on the details, right? Like, I mean, if it is something serious, there's no way he's playing, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I don't know what the legal definition of domestic battery is, so I'm not sure what that means or how severe. It's a misdemeanor. Not that makes it any more good, but like, when you hear domestic violence, I assume there's felony charges involved, but the fact that it was a misdemeanor makes you wonder what the details are. Either way, if he did it, not good. He's probably going to face some consequences. A Facebook user says, wait, which Jags player? Zay Jones. Zay Jones. So a little bit of, let's move on to a little bit of more interesting news. Josh Dobbs lighting it up in Minnesota. You can't help but, at least me, I can't help but root for this guy a little bit. He gets tossed around from team to team, gets traded, finds a niche, and then ends up, moves on. Has been put into some very crazy circumstances. Last year with the Titans, he was put in with little to no time to really prepare and learn the playbook. And if we're being honest, was within a hair's breadth of beating the Jaguars and getting the Titans into the playoffs and having them win the division last year in that last game, right? That game was a lot closer than
played really well against Dallas too.
Yeah. Now 2-0 with the Vikings, and playing well, not just getting lucky, but actually making some throws and making some plays with his feet. So good for him.
He wasn't playing bad in Arizona too. It's just he
was playing real good in Arizona.
Yeah, Kyler Murray just got healthy, and Minnesota needed.
Well, that was always the deal in Arizona, was that you're here till Kyler Murray. There's been some words about Kyler Murray and the organization having a fallout, but I think that they're committed to him or stuck with him.
Well,
all the money they paid him, you would think it's gonna be hard to offload that. But a lot of people forget that Josh Dobbs is a rocket. He's a literal rocket scientist.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a meme that was posted around.
Told me 8 times.
Yeah. I didn't watch any. I didn't see any of the footage from the game.
You figure some dude that looks like a Martian would be a rocket scientist.
Well, somebody said that Disney's working on a movie starring Josh Dobbs, about Josh Dobbs, where he's an NFL quarterback, and he has to choose between playing in the Super Bowl or being able to take a trip to Mars, and it's going to be called the Pastronaut or something like.
Oh my god,
that's funny.
So that would be pretty amazing.
Didn't the Jags trade him twice?
They traded him once. I don't know about twice.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look. I know he had 2 stints where he was on the team, 2 separate.
Or maybe it was the Steelers that traded him twice. Maybe
it was the Steelers, I believe.
And then he was at Cleveland. I thought Cleveland traded him too. I don't know.
Yeah, he was. So I think he was traded, then he was released, and he was picked back up, and then I think he was traded again.
Right.
Yeah. Vikings now have the longest win streak in the NFL, 5 games. So, could have been the Jags if the Jags weren't stupid idiots. That's crazy
Justin
too.
Yeah.
2
of those without Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, very odd season the Vikings are having. It first seemed like they were falling apart, and then now they're gaining a little steam, and under the weirdest of circumstances. Speaking of gaining steam, the Raiders 2-0 after firing crybaby McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is a weird guy. He's a very weird guy. The reports of him trading. Who was it? I think when he was with Denver, they said he traded away a running back or something because he thought his wife was attracted to the guy. So he traded the dude. Clearly, something happens to people's brains when they coach under Bill Belichick, and it just scrambles them, and they're just not normal human beings when they come out of there, because the Bill Belichick coaching tree has not had a whole lot of success in the NFL, but Bill Belichick himself hasn't had a whole lot of success without Tom Brady.
Right now.
Yeah.
the big argument was always.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he was a very, very, very competent defensive coordinator. I mean, what he did in the '80s with the Giants, you can't take that away from Belichick.
Yeah,
Well,
but Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
I think the other issue that you run into with Bill Belichick and his coaching tree is the fact that, yeah, these guys are good, but also they always go to a team where they're trying to act just like him, and they always fail and do the worst impersonations. Like they act like the stoic, grumpy old guy. They trade away good players as to prove that, hey, I can win with anybody, and then they fail, and then they try to blame it on the guys that they have there. It's just like it's pretty much never worked out. I think Vrabel's probably been maybe the most successful, and even now Tennessee Titans fans are trying to run him out of town.
Bill Bryan, I still say Bill Bryan's the most successful, but even Bill Bryan, he pretty much blew up the Texans, and they're now just getting the team back together after his lighting a fuse and walking away from it.
It's a baby mama thing.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of phenomenon you see with Nick Saban. Assistant coaches in at the college level, right? Not a lot of them work out.
Didn't McDaniels also get caught cheating?
Yeah, in Denver all those years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like McDaniels' career is what should have happened to Belichick in the early 2000s if people really cared about cheating and stuff like that.
I think the difference with Belichick, I think he actually is, like with all the trades and the things that he does, I think he actually is good at evaluating talent, or at least he was, at least for a while, right? Like you can't make all those trades and not sign guys and be able to refill the coffers without that. You can't do all of that with just luck by itself, right? Like some of that is actual skill and talent and evaluating, evaluating talent. So, all right, let's get on to the god awful weekend that was for some of us anyway. Let's just get it out of the way now. Cody, what the heck happened?
Fuck, dude.
Didn't they score 6?
I don't know. 34-3, man. We didn't score.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Bro.
Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
A field goal. We scored a field goal.
Cody's reaction was just gold. He's like, "Oh fuck! All right, here we go."
We're
okay. All right. So I had pink eye, right? So I didn't really see this game. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what I could say about it. So we decided, as a family that we're gonna go to Walmart or whatever, get some snacks and stuff like that, and actually enjoy watching a Jaguars game for once. And this was the wrong week to do that. So we sat around or whatever, and my kids watched Daddy be sad for an hour and a half. This was terrible, man. Both sides of the football was just it was ridiculous. I think it was a culmination of everything that I was afraid of, coming into this game, happening all at once. Offense hasn't looked like it was clicking on all 4 cylinders, and we're, as Jag fans, just waiting for that moment to happen, thinking that this game was going to be it. They're coming off of the bye. They have momentum at their back, and they're facing a good 49ers team. So that's not what happened at all. It looked like they took too many vacations and forgot how to play football. It was embarrassing, dude. Anybody that went to the stadium, whatever, they didn't have that great of a time either. There was some people that I knew on Twitter or whatever walking out and hearing the stadium get loud or whatever, oh, the 49ers must have did something good because they ran the stadium too. So it was just, we didn't win at all. There was no good moment in that.
There was one good moment. We didn't let Christian McCaffrey break the record for consecutive games scoring a touchdown. And that makes me more angry because that's the sort of small little thing that we used to have to cling to as Jags fans. We suck, but haha, we were able to spitefully do a thing that made the other team slightly unhappy, even though we didn't win. I will tell you, at one point, I literally went and was checking the clocks in my house and the calendars, and I'm like, how the heck far back did I set my clock? because it felt like we were back in the Urban Meyer era of Jaguars football on Sunday. Like, it was from the moment the 49ers scored that first touchdown to the rest of the game, it was just 100%. Like, there was zero chance the Jaguars were winning that game. You could just feel it. That, dailysnark.com posted an article. Somebody got a clip of some player mic'd up, and basically the 49ers players are saying, like, these guys don't know what they're doing. Just, basically the 49ers defense was like, blitz them. They don't know what they're doing. And Trevor Lawrence goes, yeah, we don't know what we're doing. Like, how do you not know how do you come off a bye week and look just completely unprepared, completely inept in all phases of the ball, offense, defense, 100%. Embarrassing loss, maybe the most embarrassing loss, at least in the last 10 years, that the Jaguars have suffered. Now, if this was 3 years ago and the team was awful, it's par for the course, right? Like, oh, okay, we're no good. Like, we get it. But all the smack that the players were talking, where this is a measuring stick game, like, they were saying all these things, like they were very prepared. They were, they did. Whoever said that, they did looked lost. It's completely inept, and I also have beef with the team, the organization as well. So leading up to this game, they were promoting all of the in stadium graphics and all the social media posts. They did this very retro feeling look, like it was like the late 90s, the way they would have done like the in-game programs, all this different stuff. The Jags fan base has been asking this team for 5 years to do a Sunday where they do the old 90s, early 2000s original Jags uniforms as a throwback. You got every team in the freaking league that has nice throwbacks, and the Jags have some nice throwback uniforms. Doing these throwback uniforms, we do a whole Sunday where it's like homecoming Sunday. They've got old players, all the good players in the building. And I know the result wasn't what I wanted, but like, not only were we inept on the field, like this organization wasn't even smart enough to actually do throwback uniforms when they're doing their throwback Sunday. Like, it just, from top to bottom, beginning to end, it was complete and utter.
Also, I got something to add. I mean, I've never been to the game. Of course, I didn't go to Sunday, but I see all over Twitter, Jags fans are hysterically mad at whoever runs the stadium, because I guess in the fourth quarter they decided to run like a party thing where they show cameras of the fans partying in the fourth quarter when you're down like 31-3.
They have no. Well, that's been a thing for at least 10 years.
Interception. Okay, all right, Jags fans, it's time to win a mini helmet.
It's literally like they have that, but that's been a thing in the Jaguars stadium for at least the last 10 years. They have no situational awareness. But
not every stadium I've been at.
I mean, you gotta have a little bit of, like, I don't know. There's got to be a way to like have a little bit of situational awareness to understand that, like.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying it's no different in any other stadium. I've been to games where the home team's getting blown out. They still do that. All right, guys.
Well, the good thing about the Texans, that the last few years I went to a Texans game, they sucked. They did in the first half or the first quarter. Like, all right, let's do it now. Let's get out of the way. We're not going to win, so let's do it. And then, that's the smart way to do it.
Let's get excited.
Not in the fourth quarter. Yeah, not in the fourth quarter.
When hope is still relevant.
Yeah. It was bad all around. Trevor looked terrible. The offense looked terrible. The offensive line, couldn't block my grandma. Like, it just.
I don't want to hear about that offensive line. Just stop it.
We'll get to you guys in a minute. That may be the only offensive line performance this week that was worse than the Jags. But I mean, there's only one solace in this loss, and it's the fact that it's over, and I never have to watch a minute of that game that happened on Sunday ever again. And that's the only bit of joy.
Were you at the game?
No, I didn't go. Sam did, but she's a coward, and wouldn't come on the show. Go ahead, John. Wait, hold on, Cody. Go ahead, John.
Okay.
I was just because I was watching on the telecast. It looked like there was a lot of 49ers fans, which makes sense. It's a big market team. It's a very, very popular team across the nation. But I was wondering what the turnout was. Like, what was the percentage you think? But neither of you were there. So
from what I saw from people who took videos inside the stadium, it was less than I would have thought. Right? It was probably like 35%, 49ers fans, but that red sticks out. And the 49ers
Yeah, I
fans
mean, like-
travel well anyway, so like it is what it is.
Yeah, and if you guys weren't first place in division, all that stuff, it probably would have been like all Niner fans. But that's what I was curious
100%,
about. I was
yeah.
curious to see like when your team's good, this is a high profile game. What was it going to be like? But
yeah. All right, what were you gonna say, Cody?
Were you one of those Jaguar fans in the camp of like this game needs to be flexed to primetime?
No, because no, I don't care about primetime games as much.
Okay.
I like I would rather wait and flex a game at the end of the year like they did with the Titans game last year. Like, because that was a legit fun atmosphere, right? Like when they flexed that into primetime, like that to me, like I'd rather flex the super important games at the end of a season into primetime than flex. But I guess the NFL has said recently that they're not really going to flex any games at all this season. That's got to be coming from the owners, the team owners, saying that they don't like having to pay the extra money to move plans around and logistically get change things around. But no, I did not want this flexed into primetime.
Could you imagine, dude?
I'm so glad that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Need for the Titans to hold on. What's this comment? Need for the Titans to whoop on the Jags and the Texans to beat the Cards so we can be in first place, making the man. Shut up. I don't know who said that, but shut up. Listen. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what happens the rest of the season. My only hope is that this week we beat the living bejesus out of those god awful mayo eating turds.
You will get your wish, my friend.
Yeah. So it's that's the second good takeaway, and then we're gonna just move on and forget this ever happened. Is that this week is Tennessee hate week. So all the sins of last Sunday can be washed away by just a bludgeoning, in here in Duval versus the Titans. Anything else to add, Cody, before we put ourselves out of our misery?
Trayvon Walker looked decent. 6-3 isn't as bad as
3-6.
If it feels, or 6 and what?
6-3 is better than 3-6, right?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, Chris Jackson?
You're on mute there, buddy.
You're muted, Chris.
My bad. It was. It's just the fact that it's like the resounding tone like over this past like season has been, is Trayvon Walker a bust? And now the only thing that you can get out of people is, how did Trayvon Walker do? I mean, I guess he was there. Like, it's just like you pretty much like you've all been giving up on the guy just to along.
The good news is he didn't cost us the game.
There are two different camps. There's Josh and then there's me. I like Trayvon. Josh does
for us.
I think the audience should be made aware that the only reason that Cody likes Trayvon is because he's a former Bulldog, and that is clouding. He's looking at the Trayvon Walker's performance through Georgia Bulldog colored glasses.
Here's the real question, though, Cody. If you had the number one pick, are you still taking Walker over Hutchinson?
Yes.
Yes. What?
Hutchinson is a white Yannick Ngakoue, dude. And I'm tired of people pretending like he's something real special. Trayvon has like one less sack than him. Come on, dude. Like,
yeah, but
they put him on ESPN highlights doing that one spin move, and everybody gets mesmerized by it like he's some sort of ballerina out there. Come on, dude. He's not setting the edge. He's not stopping the run. Trayvon is the pick.
Bro,
not standing on that.
He's fifth in QB hurries. Like, I get the sacks. It's a sexy stat, but that's not all the stats.
I remember that one time that guy got into the Hall of Fame with the QB hurries. Come on, dude.
I'm saying he's doing a lot more than Walker is.
I'm telling you,
I'm saying like NFL players take time to get into their rhythm, and I think Trayvon is getting there. Right. Watch that game, dude. Watch him smack Brock Purdy.
I'll tell you who I would take over Trayvon Walker. If you go back, you can redraft. I'd take Derek Stingley Jr. Him or Sauce Gardner. I wouldn't take Hutchinson or.
I wouldn't take Derek Stingley Jr. Fuck that.
You wouldn't?
No, absolutely not.
Yo.
Wait, what happened? Last year y'all were singing his praises.
Of course, last year they were.
A best ability is availability. The dude cannot stay on the field. Yeah. Sauce Gardner is the best corner in the league right now.
Yeah.
We could have had him at 3.
And what a name. What a spectacular name Sauce Gardner has.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Enough about this bum team in Jacksonville. Let's talk about the maybe possibly as bad or worse crap show.
Talking about the bum team in Nashville.
John Ha, what the heck happened?
I mean, it might be Titan Hate Week for you, but this is every week is Titan Hate Week for me. Look, you just call me the one who's beating an old drum. What I say, it's the offensive line. If you continue to neglect it, which they've done for 3 years, you reap what you sow. This offensive line is atrocious, and they're terrible. Like, they couldn't even let Levis even have a chance. He was getting just hurried so quick. What I saw was Tampa Bay knew exactly what they had to do. They are terrible against the pass, but they knew that's not going to matter because this offensive line is not going to protect. So just go ahead and throw everybody at Levis. And what's that guy on I blanked on his name. That guy from Tampa, 54.
Devin White.
Shaq Mason, is that his name? Shaq Mason?
No,
no. Levante David.
David. They said, "Okay, you take Henry. Everybody else just go after the quarterback."
Yeah, Levante David,
and it worked perfectly. And that was it. And the defense, can only hold out for so long. I mean, the defense did okay until like I said, I've said this time and time again. It feels like every time I come on here, it's the same story. Offensive line can't protect, and so the defense can only hold out for so long because if you go 3 and out, the defense is just going to just fall apart. And the defense isn't even that great, but they were doing fine in the first half, and then finally it just broke. You can't hang on for that long. So
yeah, 20 points given up is not terrible. Yeah, not terrible. 20 points given up by the defense, not terrible. Not great, but not
especially
terrible.
With how terrible our secondary was. But Baker wasn't connecting the way that he. I mean, he had some good throws, but there were some inexcusable misses from Baker in that game. But
there's also what's his name, Williams or Mike Evans, dropped the touchdown. Yeah. Had it in his hands, dropped it, and then he was asked after the game what he was thinking about, like what happened. And he said he was looking at the stands, thinking about which fan he was going to give the touchdown ball to. And he wasn't looking at the balls that came in. And I was just like, dang. Okay.
Do you think Mike Evans even cares anymore? I get the vibe from that guy that he's just like, hey, I got a Super Bowl. Now I'm just kind of like doing whatever I want.
Yeah, Mike Evans seems a little bit checked out, but I think, he's trying to pad his stats and see how much money he can get when he goes elsewhere. I don't think he's going to sign again with the Bucks.
Kind of what it feels like.
He's a free agent.
Yeah, he's going to come to Tennessee where wide receiver careers go to die.
It's one of those things where it's like, I have this idea, and this could be, I'll ask you guys what you think, and this might be unconventional, but I think if maybe we target DeAndre Hopkins more, that could yield some results. What do you guys think?
Well, you got to have time to throw the ball. I mean,
here's the thing. You should trade DeAndre Hopkins to the Eagles because that's what your team does with good wide receivers.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Good players, period.
No. That's what we do with good players that we draft. You're mistaken. We pick up people. Yeah, we draft.
But serious answer, of course. Like if you would scheme for DeAndre Hopkins, you would think you'd get more production.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I mean, yes, the offensive line's going to collapse, but when Levis is actually, because he's throwing the ball to people with the pocket breaking down, but nary any of them are towards number 10. I don't care. It's DeAndre Hopkins. He's trying to prove something. Throw it to him. He's going to try to make a play. He did it against Atlanta multiple times.
It can't possibly go worse than it did on Sunday. Throw him the freaking ball.
Exactly.
That's coming from a guy who hates the Titans and hope that I hope you never throw him the ball.
But
fine. Just logically thinking through it, you would think, yes, you would have a couple opportunities to lob it up to him and see what he can do.
Did you hear the rumors?
What's up?
Did you hear the off-season rumors? Of course, Bill Belichick's supposed to be out. This is reported by the Boston Globe.
I was on here. the last time I was on here, I threw that out into the air, and then all of a sudden it started coming out. I was the first on it. You know my connections. I hear these things all over the place.
Right. I forgot you got the phone.
What are we talking about?
The Patriots wanted to trade draft picks for Variable to go to the Patriots.
Yeah, they want Variable. It seems like Patriots want Variable. And that was my thought too. But then like the next, because it was during the Titans bye week, he was there going into the Patriots Ring of Honor and stuff. And I just had this. I was like, you know what? I bet that Kraft would love to have Braves. But then he signed Bill Belichick to a 2-year contract like the day before that. So then I kind of stopped thinking about that. But it does kind of feel like. But this isn't a Patriots thing. But I don't know why. People are calling for Vrabel's head. I don't know. I'm not necessarily at that point. We're through J-Rob under the bus effectively. You got to at least give our new GM time to bring in new staff before you start throwing everybody else under the bus. Lack of protection is not necessarily the head coach's fault, that these guys are just so inept. You just kind of you could just see it in Vrabel's face. It's he knows what they have to do, and they just can't do it. So it's just to me, it just feels give me some half-decent offensive line, and I think these games would look a lot different for us. We'd be far more competitive than we are.
Yeah, you got to give Rand Carthen enough time to draft some players that you can then trade to the Eagles later. You can't trade. Can't trade the crappy players you have now. You got to get some good ones first.
Exactly.
Well, when y'all beat the Steelers or y'all got beat by the Steelers, I saw that y'all have the most players off the streets to come play for you guys, and then the whole NFL. Y'all injury list is through the roof. So,
and this year isn't even as bad. The year that we were the 1 seed, we set the record for the most players starting the team. This is nothing new. I don't know why I haven't heard any reports of training staff being fired, because whoever it is, it's the conditioning coaches or whatever, is just making people injured like nobody's business. But the people who are healthy on that offensive line are just awful. Just Andre Dillard is one of the worst offensive linemen there's ever been, and he's the only one that doesn't get hurt. And
I think we said that before.
Yeah, we said
the
thing. And I don't know who said it before. Definitely not you, John, because you're logical. But people were just oh no, he's coming from the Eagles. It's just trust me, if the Eagles are letting people go from their offensive line, generally they're not good. So I mean, we learned that with Matt Pryor. Y'all are learning that with Andre Dillard. But your other fan base counterparts, they don't listen. So
that's fine. If they disagree, they can come on and tell me otherwise. I don't care.
I hope the Titans keep Vrabel forever, and I hope that the Patriots hire Bobby Slowick.
I would me personally, I would like to hang on to Vrabel.
Take a second.
Killing me. Don't do that.
You know that's going to happen, though, Matt. Your team is doing too well. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. But any other thoughts? So what do you think realistically, John, how your chances are to not get slaughtered by the Jaguars on Sunday?
Well, I mean, that all depends on you guys. I feel like you guys are going to be your own worst enemy of this game. We will give you every opportunity to slaughter us, but it's up to you if you want to capitalize off of the mistakes that we will give you time and time again.
Yep, I agree. I think,
well, actually, just one question. I'm sorry. But, John, are you sick of the D-Hop is out there somewhere offense?
That's the Tim Kelly offense, sir. That's the Tim Kelly.
That's not even what we're running. I would love to see that offense, because we're not even trying it.
Yeah, I think
we tried it. Levis came in against Atlanta and said, "Okay, that's what we're doing." And then they said, "Okay, great, that was awesome, that worked great. Now let's go ahead and try to open it up. Let's throw it to other people," which I liked against. He did fine against Pittsburgh, but then he just had no time against Tampa. He was just bum rush like nobody's business. But when
yeah, we also had darn near 2 weeks.
I would just love to see throw it to D-Hop. I don't care.
He also had darn near 2 weeks to prepare for that first game, right? And I think what you're seeing now is the O-line plus less preparation time. Listen, he's a rookie. Who knows? I'm not saying that Will Levis is bad. I think it is actually hard to tell if he's any good because your O-line is so bad.
And Todd Bowles is just a great defensive-minded coach. I mean, it showed what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't so
I
great
guess this was
2 weeks ago against the
well,
Texans, but you know,
what I saw was that I saw a Buccaneers team that said, "Okay, we know exactly what we have to do on defense in order for us to win," and they did exactly that. Like all Tampa had to do was score. All Tampa had to do was score 4 points, and they win, and that was it. That's all they would have had to do. So it was not. We're a very easy team to beat if you have a really good defensive front. That's just it.
all right. So moving on, let's get to teams that were actually successful this week.
I want to hear about
and-
the best quarterback in the division. I think.
Oh, you're talking about
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew.
Oh yeah, baby.
So I'll admit to you, I did not watch a minute of this game. So I will leave it to Chris Jackson to enlighten us on what the heck happened.
So yeah, I was up early getting ready for church. Sorry, God, but I was watching during church, much to my wife's chagrin, and it went. You know what? When you go up against Bill Belichick, you still kind of are just like, they're 2-7, but this is also the same guy who, even when teams don't look that good, his teams generally are very successful against the Colts. This was a little bit of poetic justice. Got after Mac Jones, sacked him 4 times. Dio got him 3. Picked off Mac Jones, who I don't know what his obsession is with him, but it was very, very gratifying to go to a whole different country altogether and be able to beat Bill Belichick in front of all of Germany. Because we're in a stadium that has 48,000 capacity, and there was about 50,000 people there. So I'm glad that Bill Belichick was able to just fail miserably. And you know what? I hope this is a catalyst that gets him fired. Because you know what? F Bill Belichick. I don't
Yeah.
think, like.
Yeah, I hope he gets fired
I'm tired
too.
of this guy.
And I will personally email Bobby Slowick's resume to Robert Kraft and be like, hire this man.
Yes, expeditiously.
Sweet Caroline.
It was honestly, it was just defense. It was a good defensive game. The offense did not look that great. The O-line looked great, but Gardner Minshew was still running around like a chicken with his head cut off, even though the O-line was actually blocking really well. So, do with that information what you will.
It's weird to think that technically the Colts are still in the hunt for the division. Like, you know, because if you look at it on paper, like some of the scores, you're just like, oh. And if you look at like the injury, like if I told you, I put a gun to your head and say, hey, AR is injured. It's in week 10. You have to tell me whether or not your team still technically has a shot to win the division. If I told you that, I don't think anybody would guess that, yes, the Colts still have a chance to win the division with Richardson going out and, what's his face? Gardner Minshew taking over. Gardner Minshew, I think you've sort of seen the limit of what he is, right? Everybody's real high on Gardner Minshew. And like I said before, Gardner Minshew did the same thing in Jacksonville. He'll come in, he'll have these 2 or 3 games where it's just like, holy cow. And then all of a sudden he just comes back down to earth. I don't know if it's because teams are able to scheme against him and they figure out what he's going to do, or if he just, I don't know what it is, but I think, if you guys can play the Patriots every week, you might actually make it in the playoffs.
You know what? It's Gardner. I think Gardner Minshew is an easy case to figure out. That's why you have to be able to mix it up really well. Because Gardner Minshew, when you blitz him, he panics. And it's not like he's just able to just kind of like stay put in the pocket. Like that's when you start getting him where he's trying to make, passes while running, while, on one foot leaning towards the right. Like it's where he starts to do all these crazy things that he really just doesn't need to do. And that's who Gardner Minshew is. He's not somebody who's super mobile.
He's Johnny Manziel without the substance abuse problems.
Facts, all facts. So let's just get that part of it out the way. But
he's the modern era of Fitzmagic. That's who he is.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. But I think it's also very telling that ever since they put out that stat that Indy scored 20 points offensively in every single game that they played, that they haven't scored 20 points offensively in any game that they've played since they revealed that stat. So, I just want to just please advise all analysts to just keep that shit to yourselves, because I hate stats like that. Like, it's the worst. Like, please just if it's on your mind, just don't say it. Just please don't, because as soon as you do, then all of a sudden we're just like, hey, it would be great if we don't score 20 points of offense in this game. So yeah, please just don't. But the defense showed up big time, so you're definitely very, very happy about that.
Yeah, we got this comment. He had that one scramble and deep pass at the end of the game that was nice, though. Well, yeah, even the crappy quarterbacks throw one nice pass. Like, I mean, that doesn't, that one good pass, out of 20 or 30 isn't going to win you any games in the NFL, unfortunately.
It's not. And the thing is, like I said, Gardner Minshew is good for those. I mean, he's good for one or two of those really, really big plays where, somebody has to go out and, just make a big play. But honestly, it's just like, with the way that the O-line's been blocking, sometimes it ends up being a busted coverage, or the play ends up being extended and the wide receiver has to make an extra play.
Hold your thoughts, Chris. Hold on. Joseph Mejia, no one knows who you are. No one's scared of you. I didn't know you existed until 2 seconds ago. So shut up. Go Jags.
Whoa. It's not the Texans part. So, like, hold your horses, dude.
Bro. Like, we haven't even talked. Like, just calm down, buddy.
No. Listen, Joseph.
Are you happy now, Joseph? We talked about you on the show. Are you happy now? Would you like to come on and be a Texans contributor? If not, pipe down. We'll get to your team in a minute.
Matt, with all due respect, and it's just like, I appreciate you as a Texans fan. Joseph, don't you dare come on here, because you had, and I'm telling you, we're not sitting there puffing your chest saying, oh yeah, CJ Stroud is the MVP and all this stuff is fantastic. Texans fans weren't saying that. You're talking about a 2 to 3 year rebuild before the season starts. Then all of a sudden CJ Stroud starts balling out, and now y'all are acting like, with all due respect, Jags fans, when they all of a sudden went on that run last year.
That's our agreeing with you for a second. That's our shtick. Leave it to us. Listen, and there's a big chunk of Texans fans that didn't want CJ Stroud. So and I got some receipts. So we'll see at the end of this year. I've been holding on to him. We'll see how it goes. But some of y'all are gonna regret.
I got a lot of slack for wanting CJ Stroud. Bryce was the guy. So
all right, who do you guys play next, Chris? I
this week. So
that's right.
Okay. Yeah, we have bye week this week. So hopefully nobody gets injured on the bye. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say, because these injuries have been absolutely brutal.
Yeah, injuries suck. All right, so last but not least, unfortunately, we have one last game to talk about.
Division chance, baby. No, I'm sorry. I'll be like the rest of the fan base.
Having won, congratulations, Matt. I just want to say, on your 5th Super Bowl win this year, because that's how your fan base acts. Every time you win a game now, you've won a Super Bowl. CJ Stroud, CJ Stroud has been put in the Hall of Fame 5 times. He has 5 gold jackets just on this one season alone. So,
well, I mean, technically he is in the Hall of Fame, because
he is not in the Hall of Fame.
No, the things he's done, is in the Hall of Fame.
No, he doesn't have a bust in the Hall of Fame, Matthew.
He has game stuff in the Hall of Fame. For the records he has broke. Yes, sir, he does.
Yeah, but that doesn't count as being in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, yeah, part of them is
at one point the axe from the Keep Chopping Wood incident with the Jaguars was in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, right?
Like, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Anyway, your team won. Go ahead. Tell us how CJ Stroud is literally, Jesus returning, walking on water, and throwing the football at the same time. Go ahead.
Matt, don't listen to these haters. You've got a great quarterback, and you deserve to enjoy every minute.
Look, listen. Who are you, and what have you done with John Ha?
Hold on. Has anybody watched the Cleveland Browns game? Did anybody see that game?
Yeah,
I would take CJ Stroud over the massages over in Cleveland.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
I'm so glad. I am so glad we got.
Wow, what a controversial take.
Well,
that's like saying,
John, the crazy thing is, you got people that still want Deshaun back. Like we did him wrong. Like, we are the bad guys. Like, it makes no sense. And then, like Josh said, we have a whole bunch of people
also work at massage parlors.
They must or be Instagram models. Like
this is down 200%. You got to get them back.
Wasn't Deshaun trying to get out before the massages even came out, even before anyone talked about that? He was like, "No, I'm leaving. I want out of here. Get out of here." The Texans didn't do him dirty. I wanted to leave you guys.
Having driven through Houston once, I understand.
Right. Fuck off, Josh.
But listen, I've been to Jacksonville too, buddy.
Hey, listen.
He faces going places, but
no.
But we have delicious seafood. And also,
and delicious bath.
We have shrimp flavored
heroin in the market.
We have shrimp flavored meth, so deal with it, Houston.
But
meth flavored
shrimp. But like Josh said,
sure.
you have idiot Texan fans that want Bryce. They still want Bryce Young. Like you see this dude, he's in the MVP talks, and you still want a different quarterback than CJ Stroud. Like it makes no sense.
Even now they're talking.
Even now they're saying,
"Get out of here."
Bryce Young is the guy. Like it makes no sense. But going to this game, it was a great game. CJ Stroud jumping ahead on Joe Burrow with a 17-point lead. But like in Texan true fashion, they can't win the game without any drama. Win big now. We don't know what that means. So they let, of course, Joe Burrow, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, come back. Tied the game 27-27, and CJ Stroud led the game to a game-winning field goal, and he threw a second pick, which a lot of fans are upset about him. Which I guess that he has to be perfect for these
interceptions happen. Like
right, a rookie. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you have 2 interceptions and you're mad at him?
And you won the freaking game. Like, you won the game. Like, what are you complaining about? Who cares?
Right.
Wait, it was a game-winning field goal? It was a game-winning field goal?
Yes.
Because Texans fans were telling me that CJ Stroud held the ball in his hands and floated through the goal himself, levitating off of the ground. That's the way they described it.
You know how – look, I never said my fan base was a Smarts fan base. All right? I know Josh said that a lot of us talk
Lots
about
of short buses in Houston.
I'm not everywhere. I mean, East fan base. Titans have Titans fans have that same avocado. Colts fans have Josh Senior. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Hey, don't try to diss my horseshoe map counter.
Nah, Michael Tessmer is worse than Josh.
Yeah,
Senior.
I was just throwing some fun at Chris. That's why I said.
Hey, whoa.
But yeah, every fan base is stupid. But no, was CJ Stroud the reason why we won? Yeah, CJ Stroud's the reason why we won. But the thing I'm getting a little frustrated with is when we do have a nice lead, the defense goes to conservative play calling, and they do a lot of zone packaging, and we don't got the personnel. We made Baker Mayfield look like a stud out there. It looked like he was playing the Titans out there last week, like he was just carving us up. Bryce Young looked like he was a number 1 pick overall. Like,
yeah, that's the one loss I don't understand. That Carolina loss, I don't understand that one. But
it was just bad play calling and an off game on CJ. But
who do you guys play next week?
The Cardinals.
Oh no!
Oh, that's Jesus!
You guys are getting swept by the midgets.
Well, that's the thing. Like
by the little people. The Lollipop Guild strikes again. That's going to be the next week episode.
Well, that's what I've been saying is like we can win the games we're not supposed to.
Good.
Like we weren't supposed to win the game against the Jaguars.
Kyler Murray looked decent too.
And he did, but I mean it's the Falcons. But that's the team we lost to too. So
yeah,
you know,
it's really hard to catch a guy that's running underneath your legs.
Right.
We know right between your knees.
Right. We lost to Bryce Young. So. It should be a game to win. I think we will, but it all depends on coaching and of course what CJ Stroud does because the running game is not there.
Yeah, that's what's even more wild.
Devin Singletary ran for 122 yards yesterday.
Have you seen the Bengals stats on the run defense? They're ranked like 29th in the league.
Oh. But still, Devin Singletary of all people.
But when
that man hasn't ran for 122 yards,
right? But what you're supposed to do when you have a quarterback that's thrown 362 yards and 5 touchdowns last week, you're supposed to focus on the running back, or are you supposed to focus on the quarterback?
Listen,
definitely.
I just think you guys need to hurry up and figure out what you're going to do when Bobby Slowick gets hired as a head coach by somebody this offseason. Mark it down right now. I'm telling you. Somebody's going to hire Slowick, and Texans fans next year are going to be crying because y'all going to come back down to earth. Because a lot of what's happening is the scheme. I will say this: I hate the Texans almost as much as the Titans, just because their fans are morons, just like Titans fans. But I tell you right now, Bobby Slowick has done some darn near genius stuff.
We must hurt you week 3 bad,
bro. I'm just so no. It's not. It's not that. Listen, there's nothing you could do. There's no result on the field that can hurt. That can hurt me. It's just the constant, literal, foaming at the mouth, rabid, just screaming into the void, literally.
Me and you've talked about this.
Texans fans are like that meme of the guy that's using the urinal, and then the other guy comes in, and there's 1,000 urinals that are empty, and he comes right up next to you, and he's like, "Hey man, did you see CJ Stroud's going to the Hall of Fame tomorrow?" It's just constant. Bro, okay, we get it. Your team's doing well. My God,
every fan base. I mean, the Titans were that team for 3 years when they're running the division. It's every fan base.
I said we were going to lose every game.
I agree with you. Some Texans fans are stupid, are retarded.
Well, good. At least you admit that. So,
but what you said, if Bobby Slowick
I guess you could say that because you got the pass, right? You got the R word pass. Is that why you said it?
I mean.
Okay.
I thought we were just going to skip over that one, Cody.
Yeah. I was
you're making it awkward.
It's just me. Okay. I mean, you got a little bit of it. Hey, it's all right, folks. He got a little bit of the tism, so he could say it.
You call a spade a spade. I mean,
right.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna go to war with all. Listen, I'm gonna say right now, my Twitter handle is Josh Gives Up. Listen, Houston fans, Houston rap sucks. All your rappers suck.
Get the
your rap scene sucks.
Right there.
Always sucked. It's terrible. It's not good. It's bad.
You can't say no.
You're right there.
Come at me with your terrible opinions. Your football team's good. Your rappers suck. They've always sucked.
Right there.
Right there. Are you serious?
Might as well chopped and screwed. Might as well put it in a blender, throw it in the garbage. Put it in the garbage disposal, chop it up, throw it away, wash it down the drain. Houston rap sucks.
Right there.
Bro,
you just lost all credit out the window.
I'm sorry.
Nah.
The best truth is a hard truth, and there you go, Houston.
I'm surprised, man, looking like that you don't have better rap opinions.
The best to come out of the game is Mr. Zero. You gotta put some respect on Houston rap.
I mean, UGK came out of H-Town.
Yeah, Pimp C. Yeah,
no, they suck. Every single one of them sucks. They all suck. They suck.
You're out of your mind.
They suck.
You are out of your mind.
See,
they suck. Sorry.
I guess everybody's wrong every now and then, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, Scarface, dude.
Yeah.
Scarface.
The Ghetto Boys. Yeah.
Ghetto Boys.
Oh my God, dude.
Bushwick Bill. I mean, come on.
I'm sorry. They're not good. None of them. Not a single one. Not a single one.
I hate Travis Scott, but you got Travis Scott.
Okay, you could have done without Travis.
See,
Scott.
Thanks for proving my point. See, on that note, all right. Any other thoughts about your good football team or your crappy rappers from your town?
They are the best. Super Bowl bound.
There you go.
Did
VT text that to you and tell you to say
no, I wasn't going to say it until you said that stupid comment about Houston rap. So, I mean, I know that gets under your skin. So
come at me, Houston rap fans. I do not
CJ Stroud, Hall of Fame. There you go.
All right. So I guess that's it for this show. We'll just go around the room here. Any final thoughts? We've already heard from Matt. CJ Stroud going to the Hall of Fame, Texans winning the Super Bowl. Cody Cold Gaming, any final thoughts from you? And where can people find you?
Houston rap is pretty good. And I didn't say
I'm gonna mute you.
I was in here, but that wasn't me. Okay. And then you can find me at Jags Fan Battle at Tuesday at 8 p.m.
All right, John Huh.
I don't have an opinion about Houston rap. Thank you for asking.
No, all right. Moving on.
Music,
Chris
right?
Jackson.
Yeah, you're high. Houston rap is great. What are you talking about? But you can find me at CJ Colts Fan. Horseshoe Mob Podcast Tuesdays 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one Houston rapper that doesn't suck. Mike Jones.
Oh my god.
Who?
Yeah, he's Mike Jones.
Who?
You know his number. You're rapping it in your head right now. It's in your head right now. You're rapping
That's
your
what I
cell
said,
phone.
who?
You know what it is. Yep.
004. Yeah.
All right. So that
Mike
does it for
Jones.
this edition of hate-filled AFC
Well,
South Fan Battle.
We got one more
podcast.
thing.
Oh, that's right. We do have
Yeah.
one more thing. Unless you. All right.
We had a contest of people who subscribe, joined the social media to win a free jersey, and here it is, all the names, and we're going to do it as of now. Good luck, and hope a Texan fan wins.
I swear to God, if Shane Alvarado comes up,
hey, good luck to the Colts fans. Good luck to the Colts fans.
Good luck to everyone but Houston Texans fans. No way. This is rigged. He spelled his name wrong, so I'm going to say he shouldn't be able to get it. Sorry.
No, that's how you spell it. He gave me crap the other day for it, but Houston's always winning. Rap, Texans, and
all right.
fans.
So Matt's no longer in charge of the contest. We're going to have
Not
a third party.
At all.
Not allowed. Congratulations.
Spin it again. I want to see if it comes
on
on that same name, dude.
yeah.
Spin it again.
All right, hold on. Let me.
I think we'll spin it again.
Spin it again, unless it's a record from a Houston rapper, and then please turn it off. Stop it.
Listen to Paul Wall's verse on the Drive Slow remix from Kanye West.
Paul Wall is literally the worst. He's
Look,
the one I'm talking about.
Listen to Chameleonair's King Koopa mixtape. Like, bro, come on now.
Chameleonaire, first of all, that's the dumbest name.
God.
Secondly, how's he gonna
On red.
I thought I was gonna do that. Well, congratulations, Matt Collins. You didn't win. Christopher Remington won. We were just making sure that this contest was on the up and up. All right. Well, that does it for this hate-filled episode of the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. We will check you next week. Don't forget to check out the Texans Fan Battle podcast. When do you guys go live, Matt?
Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central.
And Jaguars Fan Battle, Cody?
Tuesday at 8.
Horseshoe
Eastern.
Mob.
Chris, that's you, buddy.
Horseshoe Mob is.
I thought he froze.
Horseshoe Mob is Tuesday, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern.
And then we also have the Titans Fan Battle podcast. I think they go Tuesdays too.
Thursdays at 8:30 Eastern.
Thursdays at 8:30. That's the AFC South Fan Battles. This podcast, all part of Fan Battle Sports. We will catch you next week. And as always, Chris Jackson.
Sam loves Jalen Ramsey.